Question number 8, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister in charge of Ministerial Services. Was he or any other minister aware before the end of the last calendar year that the ministerial BMW fleet was to be replaced?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee on behalf of the
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister responsible for Ministerial Services, ministers were not briefed ahead of the decision to replace the fleet which was made by the Department of Internal Affairs in November of 2010. Following the Department's decision, it's my understanding that the Minister of Internal Affairs wrote to the Minister of Finance on the 17th of December about the retention of surpluses on the sale of VIP fleet vehicles.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Is he, John Key, responsible for the budget of Ministerial Services for the 2010-11 financial year?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister responsible for Ministerial Services, the Minister for Ministerial Services is responsible for the Ministerial Services budget.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Was the spokesperson for the Department of Internal Affairs correct when he said yesterday that the contract entered into during the term of the last government had no obligation to purchase further cars this year or any other year, and that there would be no penalty if no cars were purchased?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
On behalf of the Minister responsible for Ministerial Services, my information is that that is correct. If the contract is terminated, there is no contract penalty for ending the contract during its term, but there would be substantial cost in managing a further competitive tender, and there's no evidence that a less expensive fleet of fit-for-purpose vehicles could be bought. What I would say, Mr Speaker, is that the previous government did such a splendid job, there is no way that even now any other company can compete.
Sue Kedgley.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Which of the following optional extras that come with the new BMWs will be supplied with the new fleet? The massage chairs that relax the occupant's thorax, shoulder and lumbar spine, the 4 air conditioning units that enable the driver and the front and rear passengers to each set their own individual air temperatures, the DVD players in the rear seats, the 16 high-performance speakers, or the automatic closing doors?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister responsible for Ministerial Services, can I simply say that we would expect the same austerity to be exercised by those purchasing the cars on behalf of the government as was the case under the Helen Clark regime.
Point of order, Sue Kedgley. Order. A point of order has been called.
Point of order. Mr Speaker, that was a very specific and serious question. Taxpayers' money has been spent on them. I would request that we have a list of what has been...
Order. No order. The member asked a question and the Minister answered the question. It may not have been exactly in the way the member asked it, but the Minister gave a perfectly reasonable answer to it. That a whole lot of options were missing from the cars the first time round, and he expected the same options to be missing from them the second time round. Seemed a perfectly reasonable answer. We cannot insist on anything further. The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Supplementary question. How often has he, John Key, used the new BMW currently carrying a CR number plate in Auckland?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister responsible for Ministerial Services, I am not able to answer that question, but I am able to suggest to the member that when the Prime Minister is travelling on behalf of the nation, the last thing he's interested in is the number plate or the model make of the car.
Question number 9, Dr Kennedy Graham.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.